Maddie, and today I've come to a family theme park and I'm going to have some fun on some rides. Do you like rides? I love them. I like fast rides and I like rides that go round and round and up and down. I found something that looks good to go on. Look over there. Do you know what this is? It's a carousel. You might have been on one. Just look at all the colours and the bright lights. But do you know how a carousel works? Let's find out.
How does it work?
A carousel.
What shall I ride on? I definitely want to go on a horse, but that one's a little bit small. I think this horse will do. Oh, and it's about to start. Off we go. When the carousel starts to go, it goes round and round, and the horses go up and down. So I go up and I go down. It's really fun, but how does it work? How do the horses go up and down? Well, if you look at the horse I'm sitting on, it's attached to a pole, and this pole goes all the way to the floor, but if you follow it up, it goes all the way up to the roof of the carousel, and that's called the canopy. But to see how this all works, you're going to need to go inside the canopy.
In the middle of a carousel is a big pole called the centre pole. At the top of the centre pole is a big cog called a gear. It has lots of grooves on it. Sticking out from the gear are lots of rods called sweeps. It looks like a big bike wheel. Each sweep has grooves on the end, which sit on top of the grooves on the gear. When the big gear moves round in a circle, it pulls all the sweeps round, making them spin too. But how do the horses go up and down? At the end of each sweep is something called a crankshaft. The crankshaft has a pole hanging down from it, and on the end of that is a horse. When the crankshaft spins round, it moves the pole round too, and this pulls the horse below up and down.
How clever is that? Shall we see it working on our carousel? Come with me. To show you, I've been given special permission to come up here. The canopy of the carousel. Look, can you see the horses below? How exciting! So this is the crankshaft, and then it's attached to the pole here, and at the bottom of the pole under the canopy is the horse, and the crankshaft goes round and round, and that lifts the pole up and down. Let's use my special camera so that we can see the crankshaft in action. I'll have a go on this horse. Let's see what my special camera shows us when the carousel's moving. Off we go. I'm going up and down again, and then up. Carousels are really fun. If I look up, I can actually see the pole moving up and down. And what is happening is the crankshaft is going round and round, and as it's doing so, it's lifting the pole, so I go up, and then I come back down again. And I go up, and I come back down again. And it's also meaning I move from side to side a little bit, so it's giving me the feeling that I'm rocking and that I'm on a real horse. I can actually hear the crankshafts working up in the canopy.
Listen to the whirring sound the crankshaft makes as it goes round and round.
Whee! Up and down, up and down, and oh! I think the ride's come to an end. I had so much fun on the carousel. So the next time you see one or have a go on one, you'll know just how it works and you'll know why the horses go up and down. I loved seeing how a carousel works. What was your favourite bit?
Do you remember the name for the roof of the carousel? That's right, it's the canopy. Did you hear the sound the crankshaft made when the carousel moved round and round? And did you see the poles go up and down to make the horses move?
And finished! What do you think of my drawing of a carousel? Do you like to draw or maybe colour things in? Drawing is a great way to have fun and you can do it anywhere. I like to draw with brightly coloured crayons like this one or this one. But do you know how crayons are made? Let's find out.
How is it made?
A wax crayon.
To find out how crayons are made, we need to come here to a crayon factory. Wax crayons start out like this as an ingredient called paraffin. Paraffin is an oil that's found deep under the ground, but to make wax crayons, paraffin oil is turned into this, paraffin wax pellets. Paraffin is used to make all sorts of things.
Like plastic toys, candles you blow out on a birthday cake, and of course, wax crayons.
What colour crayon shall we make today? We could make blue, green, how about yellow, or red? Let's make some red crayons.
The first stage is for the paraffin wax pellets to be poured into this huge tank.
Inside, the paraffin wax pellets are heated until they turn runny, and when it's ready, it's emptied into a bucket and taken to a mixing area.
But how does it turn from a clear liquid into a coloured wax crayon?
This is pigment. Pigment is a coloured powder that gives crayons their colour.
To make our red crayon, we need to use the red pigment. The red pigment and melted wax pellets are mixed together really well until the mixture is ready to be made into crayon shapes.
This is a crayon mould. It's a bit like a mould you might use to make jelly at home, only this one is a lot bigger. Each of these holes is the size and shape of one crayon, and there are 960 holes. That means this mould will make 960 crayons in one go. The red mixture is being poured into the moulds. Inside the machine, the crayon moulds are surrounded by cold water. This cold water cools down the mixture, and as it cools down, it begins to go hard.
And this new hard material is called wax.
The team uses a tool called a scraper to move the wax around the moulds. This makes sure that they're all completely filled to the top and don't have any air bubbles. I think the crayons are ready because the wax mixture on top has gone hard and needs to be scraped off. Time to push the crayons out of the mould. Let's see what they look like.
That's brilliant.
That is 960 red crayons. That's impressive.
Let's see it again. The crayons are stacked, ready to go to the next stage. And the leftover wax is melted down to be used again.
Look at all these crayons, but there's something missing. It needs to be wrapped, and this machine wraps each crayon in its own wrapper. I'm going to use my special little camera to see how this machine wraps every crayon.
I'll put my first camera here, where the crayons get stacked up, ready for labelling. My second camera will see the crayons as they travel towards the labelling machine. And my third camera will go on this conveyor belt to see the crayons as they come out with their nice new labels on. So now we're ready, let's get labelling. In they go! And look, they're being carried up something that looks like an escalator. And here they are nicely spaced out, ready for their labels. The labels are like big stickers, which are wrapped around each crayon. Look, here they come.
I really like the sound this wrapping machine makes. It's a lovely ticking sound, a bit like a ticking clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Once the crayons have been wrapped, they move down this conveyor belt, and every one of them is checked.
Uh-oh, look! That one's got a crack in it.
If they're not up to scratch, they get thrown away. But don't worry, nothing's wasted. These will just get melted down again, ready to be made into more crayons. I've got a packet of crayons here, but there's one colour missing. Do you know what it is? It's the red crayon. And now, I can get back to drawing. I loved seeing how wax crayons are made. What was your favourite bit?
Do you remember what wax crayons are made of? That's right, it's paraffin, which is a type of oil. Did you hear the sound the labelling machine made? Sounded like a ticking clock. And did you see the crayons rising out of the mould?
That's impressive. So the next time you're having fun drawing something, you'll know how crayons are made. And if you see or have a go on a carousel just like this one, you'll know how it works. Now, what shall I draw next? See you next time.